What's up, guys? What's going on? Happy Mondays. Hope everybody had a great holidays. And yo, what's up, Master Traders? Master Nader Trades. Let's see. I hope everybody else did well today. Looks like Moderna gapped up again. What a freaking beast move, man. Holy smokes, 370. Merck came down very hard, huge by the dip opportunity almost. What's up, RB Nichols? Clark's came back down. Tesla up 4% today. A lot of like odd moves across the board. We got like Microsoft up 2.2%. Yeah, Moderna is pretty nice move. I mean, I talked a little bit about it over the weekend on the direction of it and where it was going and stuff. I don't know if anybody had a chance to look. I think I posted it. I'm pretty sure I did. It was a pretty good trade if you're looking to open a strangle or figure out which area to go. So this was what I originally posted on over the weekend. So saw a possible move to 390s or it moved to 270s, right? Because it was in the middle of the trend line. If it broke above the trend line, it was gonna make that big move up. If it rejected from the trend line, it was gonna come back down. So obviously we broke above the trend line, because market extremely bullish on all this vaccine companies and stuff. So that's a pretty interesting move there. Let me see, did we hit 393? 365, so we didn't quite hit 393 yet, but that could be in the works. So pretty close. We broke over pretty strong. RSI is very, very hot, so it could potentially get some rejection here. Hard to say, but it's toward the end of the run. Weekly is just the beginning of the reversal, so that means it could potentially even come back to 450s. It's a wild card. There. Pretty interesting though. Could play both sides and still get paid, but you probably have to play it like by doing spreads and stuff. Let's see, what else are we looking at today, guys? We don't really have any earnings today. We have like 4 earnings, but these are some small companies. We'll take a look at it in a little bit. Tomorrow morning we got some bigger earnings. We got let's see. So tomorrow we have Chinko Solar, Baozun, and some miscellaneous companies. And then after hours we got Salesforce, ZS Scaler, AMBA, NetApp, Hewlett Packard's Enterprise. The other day, I think their printer edition reported, their hardware edition reported. Box.com as well. Global Foundry is also reporting for the first time since IPO. So that's gonna be very interesting to see. That could potentially affect the chip market as well. And then Wednesday we got Built a Bear in the morning. Built a bear. After hours we got CrowdStrike, Snowflakes, AI. This Youngbo's favorite company. OKTA, Splunk, Five Below, Elastics, PVH. It's a lot of interesting stuff between Wednesday and Thursday as usual. Got Dollar General as well, Signet Jewelry, and Kroger's. Probably gonna look to open a play in Kroger's for this week for our earnings spread and stuff. That's gonna be fun. Smith and Western, very interested. Let me see where that moved today. SWBI. came back down, so it might open a position to the bullish side on that. I like the company. I think they're gonna have another great earnings, and they could potentially benefit if there's a lot of uncertainties. So Thursday is gonna be pretty interesting on the cheap stuff like Ollie's Outlets and Dollar General. Those are two big companies that are in the consumer discretionary side. Actually, no, consumer staple side that we're reporting. AI dead for reals. So big lots too. But based on how Dollar Tree has been doing, they've been facing supply chain issues, so those companies could have an issue. But then again, Dollar Tree's been like running up, so um, maybe those companies will react favorably to that. Oh yeah, Dollar Tree is $1.25 now. Is Dollar General $1.25 general now? Are they doing that as well? I mean, that's actually quite bullish for these companies if they do that, because have they announced that? The dollar store is officially dead. Inflation has hit it so hard it died. I mean, can you imagine how big the inflation is for these dollar stores to go from $1 to $1.25? Dude, that's like 25% inflation, man. Hyperinflation almost at this point. If these dollar stores are jacking up their price, right? By that much, that's huge inflationary move. So a lot of pressure there. You've signaled the death of the dollar store concept. This is the end. This is the end of the dollar store. Dollar Tree. But you know what? This is also a huge move for them though. Like if Dollar Tree and Dollar General and Family Dollar, all those companies, they move into $1.25. That's a huge increase in margins, man. Like if let's say if their supply chain cost has increased a little bit, maybe like 10%, but they're increasing it 25%. They just went from possibly breaking even or not making as much money to making a buttload of money at this point, at the $1.25 price. So actually that could skyrocket a lot of these companies, and if Dollar General decide to do the same thing, and all these other companies decide to do the same thing due to inflationary pressure, then that's gonna be pretty bullish for them long term, I would imagine. Let me see how they're looking. Let me see Dollar General EG. So Dollar General, ticker DG. For those people that are so degenerate that they have lost all their money and now the only place they can shop at is Dollar General. So Dollar General, this is January 2021 move. So if they come down this way, it'd be nice. But they actually moved a lot compared to 2020 levels. So February 2020, the company was trading around 167. If they do end up coming back down and they do end up coming to like this $160 range, ooh, that'd be such a buying opportunity. I don't think we ever seen it that low. So they're up a lot actually compared to last year's. They're up almost like $70 compared to last year's. So stock was trading 166, up 70, so up about 30-40%. And if this quarter doesn't excel at that 30-40% increase, we could see some movement back. So this is actually not supposed to be a good quarter for them. They're supposed to have a weaker quarter, so we could see a little bit of a pullback. If that's a pullback, I think it's a buying opportunity, especially if they announce the $1.25 increase. store steak is a thing. Yo, you guys know about the secret about the dollar store steak? How they inject like a few percentage of water in it just to make it worth it? Genius. What's up, 3 days no poop? Where the FUD at? Oh shoot. Is that why you guys are here today, man? Is that why the OGs are here? Coming back for the FUD for the new COVID? Yo, not gonna lie, I was pretty shook. I was pretty shook on Friday. Because when I especially over the weekend too, I read over the news. So let's go over the FUD. Let's go over the FUD that you guys asking for. So we posted on Market Outlook. We talked about a few things this morning in the Market Outlook post, and I'll go over those few things that are kind of funny. So let's see. So we talked about Market Outlook. Talk about each charts and what we need to know this week. So we're looking for a strong job report. That's what's expected. If that doesn't happen, things might not look good as well. There's supposed to be talks with Iran. Facebook is trading under the new ticker. And then OPEC is supposed to meet to decide production policies. So Biden kind of just told OPEC to screw themselves. They're like, yo, we're gonna release a bunch of like oil from our storage facilities, and like drive the oil price down. So if OPEC might be pissed about that, and they might be like, you know what, you're gonna do that, we're gonna cut down supply. So if they cut down supply, we could see some bounce in the oil industry, especially in the crude oil futures. Might see a bounce if they decide to cut supply due to the new COVID situation. That might be happening. There's also Jeffrey Weinstein whole deal with that and whatnot. And then Fauci over the weekend actually talked about the new virus, the new variant from South Africa. They said the new variants are raising concerns, has a lot more mutation spike than the Delta variant, and the Delta variant was already supposed to be pretty pretty serious, right? And we have seen it wreak havoc across like Europe, where we don't see it talked a lot in the US side, but apparently the Delta variant was pretty wild. It did increase a lot of cases across the world, and caused the second round of spikes. So if the South Africa variant is even more serious than that, which they're kind of downplaying it right now, but if it's more serious than that in terms of mutation spikes, then that could potentially put us back into lockdown forever, man. Forever, boys. Forever. It's over. This is the end. So I think on Friday they were talking about how travel ban, like the UK was a possibility. And today we saw that happen. They came out and said that. And what else happened? New York declared state of emergency on Friday. We also have Russia trying to attack Ukraine, or they're planning to. They're just bullying them right now. They're like, yo, we're getting your troops ready. Gonna massacre you guys like in January or something. And then New Year's. Next year is gonna be the worst year for you guys. And I think the United States are kind of trying to back Ukraine right now. So it could be something of like a proxy war where it's like where like Russia is really trying to spit in our face, if they're just gonna use Ukraine as like the person to do it. So that's gonna be something interesting there as that development continues, which could be a good and a bad thing, because if we do end up backing them and we do end up going to war with Russia, that could be a big world war, man. That could be a serious war, and that's good and bad. That could be good for oil. Could be short-term bad for the market. could also essentially drive economy. I'm not sure. That's gonna be something interesting that could potentially play out or not play out. The thing to pick up from this is just that the world tension has been going up. That's not the only tension in the world. There's also the whole U.S. Back in Taiwan versus China tension. So there's a lot of tension throughout the world, and there's just a lot of factors that could set up for a black swan event too, because black swan events are usually events that we can't foresee, but we may to a certain extent understand it at a certain level, and that could potentially crash the market. Who knows, right? Who knows? We do know one thing though. A lot of the indicators are a little bit off, a little bit. So on Friday, we saw that rejection off the QQQ, the upper trend line, huge rejection. We had 2% drop in the market, which we haven't seen that in quite a while, in quite a long time, in a single day. So that was a pretty ugly drop, especially for people that are pretty new in the market and they haven't seen that before. That was probably very, very painful. So we saw that move there. SPY is coming back a little bit. Ideally, we would love to see the move back to 454s or 448s. Those would be some good moves. As far as the Qs, we'd love to see a move back to 374s for a nice buying opportunity. I don't know if we'll see that or not, but those would be nice move. Financial sector, I would probably start buying a little bit earlier around 3770s on the XOF sector, but that's just because I think the financial sector is a little bit safer than the other two sectors. But obviously, we had a huge bounce already today. I think that's just dead cat bounce. That's just because we dropped so much on Friday that we only bounced today as a way to what do you call it? As a way to reset the RSIs. I don't think that's a true bounce. We'll find out tomorrow. I mean, we're starting to see a move back down already, and we already saw a $3 billion sell-off at the market and close and balance. So definitely a lot of people took profit today. It could have also been just a bounce for the big boys to get out. They needed to unload on somebody, so they had to set up a bounce for retail market to come back and pick up the bags. Is that so? So dollar index also kind of weird. Dollar index has been running nonstop, which typically signal that that the general market could be weak, because if the dollar index is strong, then the general market would be down. It's bad for the market. But they've been moving in tantrum for a while now, and the other day was the first day it kind of came down and rejected. So it might show some hope for the market, maybe not. But if they keep moving together, that could signal the move of like another March 2020 move. So that's something to be watch out for. I would definitely stay hedged. Start hedging your portfolio a little bit better. There's a few ways to hedge it if you guys are pretty new. I can talk about that if anybody's interested, but probably not. I don't want to spread too much fear, but that's pretty much it in terms of the FUD. Facebook went down. I'll tell you what was bullish though, or what is bullish. Bitcoin's been pretty bullish. It's been trying to break out of this downtrend pattern. So we're setting the resistance right now around 58. If we can break above this, next level would be 65, 70s. Three days no put. My man says, I'll buy metaverse crypto, but I refuse to invest in MVRS. Why is that? So you believe in the metaverse, but you don't believe in Facebook's metaverse because we hate Zuckerberg? Is that why? Oh, you know what? So actually, after all that FUD, right? I think this could also be something that could potentially kickstart the metaverse. Um, think about it like this, right? Think about it like remember March 2020, and what happened in March 2020, boys? We had huge drop in the market. Everybody got locked down, right? And people had nothing to do. People had nothing to do, man. They're just sitting at home doing nothing. And and then apparently the gaming sector picked up, right? A lot of people started getting into gaming. I mean, even I got into like gaming. I was playing Call of Duty a lot on the mobile, and like it just like people started watching Netflix more. Everything, all those stuff went up a lot. You know, the Netflix count went up a lot because we went into lockdown. So if this new variant does end up becoming something very very serious in like 2 to 3 months, you know, and it's like it gets totally out of control, that could like be the beginning of this whole metaverse movement, you know, because they just released the Oculus Quest 2, I think, and like, you know, right now people don't really care about getting into the metaverse. I mean, there are people that there are people that are huge behind the metaverse right now, but then there's a lot of people that just like don't understand it. Like, what is the metaverse? You know, what is this? Like, why would I want to be in it? But but you know, if you if you're at a point where you can't even live your life in the world, dude, what are you gonna do? Go into the virtual world. You know, that I feel like that's the next big thing right now. Like, get into the virtual world. I like, you know, I've been pretty bullish on Sandcoin, which is kind of like the Roblox, right, of crypto, but they're also like part of this whole metaverse development and things like that. But but I also been doing a lot of research, and I looked into a lot of interesting stuff. I don't know if you guys like seen Ghost in the Shell, um, or like other animes and things like that, where they're doing half dives, full dives, and there's just a lot of interesting things, man. So I forgot what show does a whole dive. I felt like it was Ghost in the Shell. I could be wrong. I could be remembering it wrong completely. But I was looking into it, and apparently they have like half dives now. So for some of you guys that aren't familiar with half dives, so it's kind of like jump into the virtual world, right? Kind of like this. So right now they have this VR. I think it's like prototype or something, where you're just sleeping on your bed, right? It's crazy, dude. It's crazy. Do I see myself spending a lot of my day in the metaverse in the future? Who knows, bro? I might not see it now. You may not see it now. None of us will see it, but it might be the norm. It might be the norm, you know? It might be the norm, dude. Yeah, sword art, that's a possibility. Like, who knows, man? Who knows, right? Like, just like how people got into like video gaming. I mean, I don't know. 20 years ago, if you told everybody that people would be getting into gaming and get addicted to gaming, be like, hell no, you know, you wouldn't see that. Like, who would want to sit on the computer, right? Who would want to be sitting on the computer playing Fortnite when you can go out and play tags with your friends? You know, 20 30 years ago, if you said things like that, people wouldn't believe it, you know. And that's the crazy thing about innovations and technology. You know, you can never see it coming. A lot of times nobody could have sat there and said, yo, we're gonna make dumb money, you know, from making YouTube videos. Like, if Mr. Beast told you to give him a $100,000 investment, because he wanted to do YouTube videos, and he'd tell you he was gonna return that money tenfold, you would be like, nah, don't think so, man. I'm not gonna invest in you, Mr. Beast. But look at him now, most successful YouTuber in the world, right? So there, just goes to the concept of like things we can't foresee, right? Nobody can foresee it. Sometimes it's just always, it could be, it couldn't be. Who knows? Nobody really knows, man. But I thought this was pretty interesting, where like this half dive. So you just kind of like, I feel like this is somewhat the future, man. Like, what better way to go into the metaverse than to sleep there, right? Next thing they do, they're gonna invest, like they're gonna make a pod for you, and then they're gonna feed you through the feeding tubes and whatnot. That would be pretty cool, man. So, and they also have the gloves now, right? Where you can feel things and control things in the metaverse. So you can even feel boobies in the metaverse. Who knows, man? I don't know. This could just be the beginning of something nutty. We can now have real fever dreams. For real. Slay some meta cuties. That's the crazy thing, man. We'll never know. It's like there's so much things happening. Anything can happen. Nobody could really see the future like that. But this is it's just the beginning, and I think half dive is a pretty interesting concept because you're able to control it with your hand. Your feet is moving while you're on the bed. Like there are gonna be people that just like, yo, I don't want to be moving. Like sure, you want to move in the metaverse, but you don't really want to be moving, like exercising and burning all that calories. So there's a few different things they're trying to develop. They're trying to develop the Oculus Rift version where you actually have to move your physical body, and then there's this version where you don't have to move your body at all, and either of them could be really successful. It was just the beginning of the sensors, man. Just the beginning of the sensors. It's pretty crazy. I think it's a pretty interesting concept, man. We'll see. We'll see where we'll see where this goes in 5 years or 10 years, man. Look at this. Full dive tech. At some point we'll be like, at some point we'll all just be cyborgs, man. Who knows, man? I mean, you know what's crazy? They even have like I'm pretty sure I read this a few years ago. Hard drives to store. So I remember reading that they were looking to figure out how much hard drive space it would need to store a human brain, and I'm pretty sure I read that. So this was a few years ago. They said we would be able to store our minds on the hard drive, and I'm pretty sure I read that a few months ago that Samsung had just achieved something like that, where they have achieved a hard drive that you can store human brains, and who knows, man, maybe that will happen someday. And kind of like what's that show on Netflix, Altered Carbon, where like you can just save your memories on the hard drive, and the rich people will be able to do it, and live longer than you expected, but you wouldn't know that you're just a backup of yourself. So pretty crazy, right? And then you have the Neuralink, where Elon Musk is trying to make it so that everybody can communicate. It's pretty wild, dude. It's pretty wild, man. Things are just going all over the place, and there's also talk about Web 3.0. At some point, we're gonna be uploading memories of our skills and selling them to other people to upload. Yo, imagine. That'd be pretty sick. That'd be pretty sick, man. Like, our skills memory would be an NFT. That would be a good NFT, man. Like, actually, yeah, that would be a pretty good NFT. Now that you thought, now that we talked about it. Like, we can upload a skill that we learned, and it'll be like limited, limited to one. Yeah, this is like that. It's Player One. There's also a lot of talk about this other movie, Player One, I think. Ready Player One. There's also a lot of talk about this where what was it in the year 2045 the planet is on the brink of chaos and collapse. People find salvation in the Oasis, an expansive virtual reality universe created by eccentric James Holliday. When Holliday dies, he promises immense fortune to the first person to discover a digital Easter egg that's hidden somewhere in the Oasis. When young Wei Watts joins the contest, he finds himself becoming an unlikely hero in a reality spending treasure hunt. So it could be like that, you know? Yeah, that's true. It's gonna suck. MFC being physical skills? Yeah, I mean, like that's possible, dude. Check it out. Check it out, RB Nico. I wish. I wish. School and work will be big players, not just games. Virtual shopping store? Actually, if you think about it, right? We keep talking about how there's so much impact on the environment, all that stuff. We're having huge supply chain issues, man. What is better at easing supply chain issues than virtual shopping? Like, can you imagine all the supply chain issues that we're having right now because everybody want to buy things, buy? But then, what if we just buy things in VR? What's gonna happen? It would completely ease the whole supply chain issue, man. Sit in a chair and feel how it is to drive a Tesla. Yo, why not? Why not, man? I think that's actually doable. That's actually pretty doable. They just have to make it immersed enough where you're like really feeling it. That's actually a pretty cool concept. Virtual field trips. Yo, we joke about this now. But I think that's actually an interesting concept. That could happen. Man. Like, imagine one day schools have a budget and they use their budget to buy Oculus Rift, right? Or the Oculus Quest or whatever, and everybody puts it on, and then someone else builds like an actual like metaverse version of the pyramids and stuff, and you'll just be really able to go on that field trip. That's I think that's possible. That's pretty crazy. Good concepts, man. My little cousin already went on a virtual field trip to the local aquarium. Wait, really? How's that? What's how? How? I'm not really sure. It's hard to say, man. I feel like I don't necessarily think so, because we could get to a point where like you can even work in the metaverse. So even people with no skills and money, they can still work in the metaverse, man. Everything is a mind, man. People forget how much you can control by manipulating your brain. Mm. So if they install like enough cameras, like VR cameras and stuff, at some point, dude, they could just like make it where you can walk into it too. Imagine you're doing a half dive into an aquarium. That would be dope. That would be pretty cool, man. It'll be the end of travel. The end of travel. It's over. Forget about traveling. No more traveling from now on. Is this the site? Hold on, let's go into some earnings for today. Can you send me that link in DM? I can't reach that link on this website I'm using to stream. What a world we live in, bro. What? Yo, that's actually pretty dope. Holy smokes. Oh, this thing is a little whack though, like how they like the movement, it's a little bit whack. They just like jumped you right there. They just need to make this a little bit more VR friendly. Like they need to do more 360s and like they don't even let you zoom into this. Come on, man. Is this the future? Is this the future, boys? They should charge for this though. Oh. Yeah, things like if it does look lame on the web browser because you're not in it, you know, you're still able to see so many things. But once you can get immersed into it, it'll be completely different. Like for example, I remember when they made VR goggles pretty cheap. Like, you know, the Google VR goggles, the Daydreams, right? These are pretty cheap. Like, I think like 2 years ago, they just got like dirt cheap for like $40 or whatever. It's $30 now. But I remember like when these came out and they like mass produced them in, I think 2019, 2018 maybe. Not 100% sure when. I remember all my coworkers, they started talking about it at that time, and they were like, "Oh my god!" I think it's probably 2018, because that was when I was still working for a corporate company, and they were all talking about this. Like, "Oh my god, you got to check out this VR goggle. You know, you got to watch like porn on it. It's like a whole nother level." I'm like, "What? That sounds so stupid." You know, it doesn't. Like, what do you mean? Like, how is this so much more different? I didn't believe them. You know, so Christmas came. I ended up picking myself a VR set, and I got it and I checked it out. It was definitely a whole different experience. Like, you got the headphone on, you have everything on, and like you have the goggle on. It's like it really. Yeah, is like it's pretty wild. It did change the whole perspective on how different it could make you feel, you know. And then I told my friends about it, and I ended up lending them my VR set. And guess what, man? I never got it back. Like, one friend lent it to other friend, the other friend lent it to the other friend, and that was the end of my VR set. I had a chance to use it like maybe 3 times, and that was it, man. Never got it back ever again. But but yeah, you're right. It was pretty much kind of like the town bicycle at that point. I wouldn't want it back at all anymore. It's gone. Forget it. One of my other friends, he did end up offering to give it back to me. I was like, I'm good, bro. Just consider my gift to you, like my Christmas gift to you or something, you know. Oh, that's a good point, Nasty Nate. You know how VR makes you dizzy and nausea in 15 minutes. I think that's like for each person as well. And I think that's just one of those things where like you're just not used to it yet, but once you get more and more used to it, it'll be a whole different experience. I think that's especially for those people that are trying out the VR headsets and like, you know, at the Microsoft stores, because I did try that myself at the Microsoft store, and it was kind of like it was kind of weird. It did feel kind of dizzy a little bit. I think that's also because like you're in a very busy environment, and you're just like, you know, you're not like, it's not a relaxed environment. It's just very crazy, and you don't have a lot of time to play around with it. I don't even think like they don't even give you a chair to really sit in, so you're just not comfortable, you know. So it's like, just imagine if you just like bam went from sitting in your house to the next thing you're jumping on a plane, right? You're like, you jump into a whole different situation, so obviously you're gonna feel different. I feel like if you slowly ease into it, it'll be a completely different situation. Yeah, that's true. I actually hate those 3D glasses. Those actually gets me like giving me headaches too. But I think like with most things, it just, you know, we're just not used to it, man. It just takes time for us to really get used to it, and if we do get used to it, it might be a whole different experience. Yo, maybe they'll make a pill for it one day, like those pills when you go on take an airplane and stuff. Maybe they'll make a pill for that. They'll start them young. They'll start them young. They'll do these in schools, you know, and then with that, you'll get adjusted. So like or like people, for some people that hasn't really like rode in cars or drove in cars, right? Sometimes when people get in cars, when they're like in a car, they could get dizzy and nauseated because they aren't used to riding in the car. But then after a while, after you've done it enough times, your body automatically adjusts that. So I feel like it's kind of like that. A lot of times you just need adjustment to it, and that happens naturally over time. I feel like, dude, you know what? If I was a marketing exec for Oculus Rift, you know what I'd do, man? I would start like a fund. We'll start a fund for all the public schools, and I would infect people early. I would like give like a super discount for schools. Like you know how Microsoft gives like super discount to schools for buy laptops, right? Or like how Apple used to like give out free MacBooks, or not MacBooks. What was it? What was that other Mac that like that Mac desktop that the Apple used to have, right? And like I remember back in school, maybe not for you guys, but back in school, like back in my days, we used to have these Macintosh PCs that was completely trash. The only thing you could play was just Safari on it, you know, and I could see like if I was the Oculus Rift, I could see myself doing that, man. I don't know what it was. It was like just old ass Mac desktops, man. Like these. Bring back the memories. Like these. Ugly ass desktops. um, you know, we would I could see like giving every classroom like 5 Oculus Rift or something. Or like giving the school like just like 60, because every classroom has 30 students, right? We'll give the school like 60, so this way we'll leave like 30 as reserve, the other 30 to rotate. So whatever teacher that want to take a field trip, they can reserve the 30 for that class for that day, and the students can go on the field trips, you know, using these VR goggles. And and this would be one of the way to like move more people into them, because what better way to do it than doing it when they're young? You know, I mean, I feel like that's how Apple became so successful, and that's how Microsoft became so successful. The domination of Apple and Microsoft was infecting people when they're young with their devices. So like I remember back in the 2000s, Apple was like the worst company ever. Nobody wanted to touch them, man. But look how popular they are now. But yeah, food for thoughts. If Facebook is listening, please give me some money for this idea. Thank you very much. Reward me. At least give me some. At least give me something from the Amazon wish list, please. Zuckerberg, please. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. If Zuckerberg is watching, if somebody from Oculus Rift is watching, here's my wish list. Alright, let's see. Let's check out some of the earnings for today. Stone X reported. What is Stone X? Never heard of this company. StoneX is a global brokerage and financial service firm. Its service offerings are execution, risk management, and advisory. Interesting. Earnings per share is 36 cents. Does not compare to 144 estimate. Sales is 390 mil as well as a 280 mil estimate. So it looks like they did pretty good compared to last year, but EPS is not so well. Not much movement after hours. Some real estate / investment company. No movement. They also reported pretty flat. United Health Group sees full year 21's EPS between 1875 to 1890 as opposed to 1885 estimate. Pretty in line, a little bit lower. IBM says that they see 1.5 billion revenue we classify as discontinued operation in Q4. Alright, we got like 10 minutes left. If you guys want to check out some stocks, let me know. We'll chart out some stocks. Let's check out Twitter. Whoa, big move on Twitter, eh? Why did Twitter move so hard today? Oh, I know why. It must have been the CEO change, right? I do remember reading that. So let's see. Twitter's co-founder and chief exec Jack Dorsey is stepping down as head of social media firm immediately with chief technical officer Parag to replace him. I've decided to leave Twitter because I believe the company is ready to move on from its founders, who will remain a member of the board until his term expires at the meeting of stockholders in 2022. In a letter to employees Dorsey posted on the site, he said he's worked hard to ensure the company can break away from its founding and founders. Dorsey's decision was first reported by CNBC and other media earlier Monday and sent Twitter's stock up about 11% before the bell. In afternoon trading, the shares were down about 0.09% after the news was confirmed. So this new guy was leading the acceleration of the company's development velocity, which is the number of features shipped per employee that contribute to either monetizable daily active users or revenue. He joined the company in 2011, so he's been around the company for 10 years. I look forward to building on everything we have accomplished under Jack's leadership, and I'm incredibly energized by the opportunities ahead. Dorsey said the board ran a rigorous process of considering all options, and this guy's appointment was anonymous. Oh wow, they named the CRM guy as board chairman. I think that's pretty interesting. Typically, when the CEO leaves, it does cause the stock to crash a little bit. So, we are seeing some uncertainty here. Ideally, I would love for it to come back down to this level right here around the 44s. But overall, I think it's a pretty good move. I think it's a pretty good move for Twitter because, today could also be the fact of the reversal too. So I think it's a good area to start a small position and possibly add if it comes back down to the 44.7 range. Because that's fine, dude. Bonuses are there for a reason. What's up, Anthony? Like, bonuses are there for a reason. If he can perform, he deserves to get the bonuses. Which just means that he'll have more incentive to really perform. But obviously, there's also times where people can manipulate that as well. But I think this could be the beginning of the reversal for social media and Twitter sector. Let's see how Pinterest is doing as well. Pinterest could also use some reversal too. Facebook in the daily setting up a little bit. It could be the reversal for the whole sector. Who knows? But I think that's a really good move because Jack has been the CEO of Square and Twitter, for the last few years, and everybody knows how hard a CEO's job is, and for him to like move to Africa, I remember he went to Africa for a while, to look to see opportunity for the growth of Square, and like if you're gonna do that, who's really running Twitter? Like it's really hard to really be at the board at the top if you're not really there to do that for the company. So I think it's kind of good. So I agree. I think it's a good buy the dip opportunity. Why not? Why not? 3 days no poop. Why not? Let me set an alert here though for this other level, just in case the market comes down a little bit more and present the opportunity. What position did you got? A month out? Let me see. Then we'll take a look at CRM next. Why is it so laggy? Is option strat dead? They banned me. GG option strat. If this works, that means they ban me. Oh, because the annual plan sucks. That's right. I said it. All right. So if we get a reversal on the they're like it's not even that good of a deal. It's like 20% off. So let's say we get a reversal on Twitter, right? I could see us potentially coming back to the $60 levels. Obviously 58 first and then 60s, right? If I think we can come back to the $60 levels, probably get a 55 call. Could potentially go as far as June of next year. It's not bad, pretty cheap. You went a month out, so you probably picked the December 31st, $116. You can pick June or March, or go as far as March. $200 for a $55 call. If it does make that move to 60, let's say best case scenario makes the move to 60 by the end of December. $200 would be $600. I mean, no, $200 would be $800. Is TradingView worth the money? Let me see. Wow, they don't even let me upgrade no more. What a scam. Oh, they do. Not really. I don't think it's like really worth the money. I mean, it's $155. They give you 5 indicators for chart, 2 charts in one window, 20 server-side alerts, ad-free. It depends on how much the ad bothers you, man, honestly. If anything is worth it, I'd probably say the Pro Plus is worth it. The Pro, not really. If you're gonna get something, might as well get the Pro Plus. because you can get indicators on indicators. Um, you know, like the only thing on the regular pro that you're getting that you can't really get from the free is you're just getting the custom time intervals and ad free, and there's no ads, and then possible like server side alerts, multi-monitor support. I mean, yeah, you might as well just end up better buying the custom script. Like these things, 5 indicator for charts. If you get a custom script, they'll just merge all the indicators together. So that's not really useful. 2 charts in one window, like you don't really need that unless you have a big screen. Yeah, 100%. Like the UI is definitely the convenience is there. I mean, I have the max version just because like I don't really care about it. It is nice to have separate alerts and stuff, but TOS can pretty much do everything they do. I just like it because you can access it from different computers. COVID. So CRM, let's take a look at it. Oh, Anthony, I remember you asked another question about CRM a little bit earlier. Sorry, I didn't get to that. So you got maybe this little trend line here in CRM. Would love to see it come back down to 270s, maybe even 260s, man. 260s, 250s. Be a nice level. We'll see. We'll see where the earning takes it, because I think a lot of the cloud earnings has been pretty ugly. They did end up taking over Slack, right? So that could be an interesting move for them. But if there's anything like Splunk, they might be able to come back down to the low 200s. So you can see them come. 250 is a major support for them. 260s as well in that range, major support. They got earnings coming up this week, so I think that's going to be very interesting. They look like they're having a reversal to the upside, but we know how earnings can do. We know how earnings can play this a lot. And a lot of times it could look like it's moving to the upside, but earnings can flop that real quick. Earnings can slap that shit down right back to the trend line. So I think first move is probably 280s if it's on the bearish side. Bullish side, we can see it come back to all-time highs at 312s. We'll really see what the direction of that is. We'll find out this week. Facebook, let's check it out. Let me post the chart in discussion channel. So Facebook, last time I charted, I charted this trend line on the upside. We broke it, actually. Broke the trend line, which means that kind of going a little bit into bearish territory after it broke the trend line. So I think on the bullish side, we could see a move back up, over here. We did see the money flow crossover, so that's kind of bullish on the intraday side and the half-day chart. So if you're bullish, you could potentially swing the move to this 340 range. It's at 338 right now. Pretty not that far away. If you're bearish, next move would potentially be back to the 320s. Point of control there. Let's see, SPLK, Splunk. I think they have earnings this week as well. We do have a long-term trend line on that. Let me show you what I'm looking at. So if you're bullish on Splunk, right, we could see a move back to long-term trend line. So that's 119 area if you're looking to buy the dip. So that's on the weekly chart. This is on the smaller time frame. So possibly if that area holds, that could be a make or break. This could be a big level for it to either buy the dip or go down from here. So it'll be an interesting move, man. Honestly, posted the chart in the discussion channel at Xtrades. Check that out as well. So if it bounces off the trend line here, that's the 120 area, 119 area. If that bounces, we can easily see a move back to 137. If that breaks under, next move would be 111s and then further down. I do have some leaps on SPLK. So I have some spread leaps that I got a while back. I'm looking to purchase back the sell side version. So I'm overall kind of betting on the bullish side. But we'll see. We'll see, man. I think they're a little bit undervalued, but they're pretty cheap coming back to 2020 discount levels. So maybe it'll give us that 2020 discount level as $95, you know? That would be a huge buying opportunity. Because they have been growing. Overall, the earnings has been pretty decent. It's pretty rare we see that with those opportunities, but I think if we do that, that could be a good area. But I think that's pretty much it for today. I'm gonna end the stream here. We'll be back here tomorrow to check out some of the earnings from CRM, ZS, and Box. Good luck on and have a good day, guys. Take care.